Andy.
Yes, mate. How are you?
What's a gaggle of YouTubers? Another YouTuber. Hello. Oh, Gloucester as well. Hey.
He's the crowd.
No vest. Yeah. No umbrella though.
I love the jobs you have.
Yeah.
It's in your front of it.
3, 2, 1, go!
Hello everybody, hope you're doing okay. Welcome to the Bourton-on-the-Water 10k in Gloucestershire. Now this is a race I've entered a while ago, and by chance it featured a lot of YouTubers. See if you can spot any of them in the intro, and we'll see if we can look at their footage as we go along. Now I haven't been in great shape of late. I've had man flu twice. I've had an injury since the end of May, so this is the longest race I've actually done in a year. And there's John Broom there, who you recall I was only 5 seconds behind in the British Masters 5k, and I thought I'd be able to hang with him today, but unfortunately it wasn't to be the case. And I was wondering where he was actually, because I thought he was going to be sitting behind me. When I'm going to review this footage, I realised he actually got out in front for a change, and I think I was actually going at a pace that was nowhere near going to be the sub 40 that John was aiming for. So I think he soon realised that I wasn't actually in the best of shapes and he needed to crack on. Now it's interesting that guy in the yellow and blue there, not quite sure what club that was. I think he features later on, so we must have run it very similarly. So you start off in a course here which is like 2 laps around the village. It's one of the most flattest sort of country lanes races you can possibly do, so in that sense it's good, but there are quite a few potholes to negotiate. So there was a few guys that were sort of telling us to look out for them, a bit like the bikers do if you're out on a group bike ride. So yeah, it was quite a nice little start, and there's John, still just about can see him, and I think he caught an eye on Andy Maguire. It's on Andy, and he's really coming on very well. And I think those two ran sort of basically the race more or less together. I think John just got him at the end, but we'll feature them when they come back the other way, because it's basically an out and back course with these 2 laps around the village. So on the first lap through the village here, and I decided to take this one sort of quite cautiously at the start, thinking I just sort of like not quite sure what shape I was in, and I've had a sort of bit of stiffness. I think I just need to really work on my stiffness. So I think at the moment I seem to be getting ever worse. It's a bit depressing. But I had a reasonable park run the week before, but I'm still finding my feet a bit, and yeah, I wasn't quite sure what shape I'd be in. I think in hindsight I was a bit disappointed with it, but on the plus side I paced it very, very evenly. It's just that the pace wasn't that great, and you can see I've got this in kilometres here, ran about 4:12, 4:13, 4:14, and that's basically the pace I held throughout, which in miles is about 6:45, between 6:45 and 6:50. So yeah, it was kind of unironically the pace I ran for a sub 3 marathon 2 years to the day in Seville. The Seville marathon was actually held on this Sunday as well. So yeah, you kind of sort of worrying that in 2 years you managed to go from running 26.2 miles at the required pace to only be running 10k. But at least I'm out and about, and after a summer of hobbling and generally not feeling well at all in December and January, I think I've finally turned a corner, and as the evenings are starting to get a bit lighter now, I was out today, and yeah, for the first time you actually did a run in the light, finishing sort of about 6 o'clock, so that was quite nice. So a nice little bit of water there you can see, and I think we're coming towards the end of the first lap, which we're rounding this corner here. I think we go back onto what is the sort of the home straight, as it were, and I think at the moment we'll go over the mats for the first time where we started. I think it's about 0.9k I seem to recall, as we just go over them any minute now. Having said that, so still there's the mat. So that's where we started. So we've done 1 lap, and very soon I'll get my first K split, and then I think we'll just take this forward a bit, because I had this Insta360 Go 3S on my sort of waist, and people saying it's not great, but it's not bad view, because I'm so tall that apart from when I put my hands in front of the camera there, it's not a bad view, this, is it? And let's get the first K split here, and we got a 4:13. I've taken these from Strava. Yeah, and I was really pleased with the pacing here. I just wasn't very pleased with the fact that the stopwatch wasn't going quite as fast as I'd hoped. But sometimes with running, it is what it is, and you can't suddenly run sub 14 when you're not in shape to get anywhere near that. So I'm coming up on my first mile here. It's interesting to see some wheelchair athletes in a race. I don't think I've ever been in a race before with wheelchair athletes, so it's great to see them. And I was a bit concerned at one point that it might be sort of a bit of collision going on, but yeah, there wasn't any problems there. So 6:48 for the first mile, and I think we're on this second lap, about to come through again for the end of this bit through the village, and then we go out on the long sort of straight out of Bourton-on-the-Water, and then you basically then turn right and go up a country lane for what seemed like forever, and you got the fast athletes coming back the other way. So when you see the first athlete, I think the winner did 31 minutes, you think, oh, okay, it's not far to go. But you realise that they're running, 10, 12 minutes faster than me at the moment. So basically whatever time they do going out is kind of like double it to come back. So yeah, when they came past me, probably another 4 or 5 minutes of running on this straight. There's the end of the second lap. And I think soon we'll just head out into the countryside, as it were. So it's quite a good sort of spectator venue, this one, because you've got these 2 laps in the village, and there's an awful lot of coffee shops and stuff. It was a very, very windy day. Fortunately, the forecast was actually a lot worse. It was meant to be sort of driving rain and 50-mile-an-hour winds. Unfortunately, it didn't actually rain, and I would say that the wind wasn't as bad as it said in the forecast could be. A lot of people were saying it was bad. I didn't really feel at any time that I was bending into it, and the fact that I was able to run very even splits suggested that it wasn't actually too bad. It just felt a bit sort of breezy and cold, and Strava said had an equivalent factor of -1, which I don't really believe actually. I mean, I was wearing a singlet as most people were, and I think if it was really -1, we really would have been freezing. So here's the second K, a 4:14. So basically this is really even pace actually. So yeah, that's good, isn't it? And we're now on this long straight out of the village, and then you've got some water there on the right. So yeah, a very picturesque village there. There's the 2k marker coming up when it says 2.05. So sometimes I'm never quite sure whether these markers are right, because I think the 5k marker came up my Garmin actually had it at 5k as well, although my finishing distance was 6.26 miles. So one of those ones you think, well, you know it's a measured course, but how did that suddenly get like best part of 100 meters more? But sometimes you just got to take these things and trust the fact that it's been measured. And what you don't want to see is a short course too, because then you start to worry that you haven't actually run a full 10k. Okay, here's coming up towards my 3rd K, and yeah, feeling okay at this point. I think my second mile was my fastest, but there was really actually a couple of seconds in it, and in a 4:13. So I'm being very, very consistent. So I think that was the best pleasing aspect of this whole race, that I was able to pace it quite well. We always think if you're unfit, you really go off too fast. And there's the 3k marker at 3.05. So yeah. As I said earlier, it will sort of even itself out later on, which is a bit weird. And if we then keep this going until we get to the 2 mile point, and you can see it's like the closed roads basically, which was very nice. And yeah, it was a bit of a problem because you know, this is quite obviously quite a nice picturesque village, and it does upset the people in the local vicinity. I'm sure I've heard a few people afterwards saying, oh, there's a load of runners today, it was like chaos and stuff. But yeah, you can see that this is quite a nice quiet Sunday morning, and it was a 9:30 start, so it wasn't too bad. I had to get up about 5:30 though, so that was a bit of a shock, and left about 6:15. Took me about 2 hours to get there. 6:46 miles, my fastest by 2 seconds. So yeah, I mean, it was a very even pace. This is the point in the race where we do a right turn. So basically it's about 3.6 kilometers here, isn't it, as we do this right turn. And this will be the point where we do the 5k marker, and it's like basically a dead turn in the road, about 5.6k. So we've got about 2k on this road, and soon we'll start to see the other runners coming the other way. Just check in with my next kilometer split, which is coming up now. And I've got this on my Garmin at a 4:14. And again, the actual kilometre marker point is not actually in sight yet. I think it looms up later on. But at this point, I was starting to feel like, can I push on? And I realised that perhaps I can't. So I think I was starting to feel like after a cautious start there, and now I'm sort of like getting into a groove. And I know this is going to be, I have to ride this one out. And 4.06k for the actual full kilometre marker, isn't it? So yeah, it's just now a case of getting my head down. I've now sort of established my position, see if I can pick off a few people. It's quite flat here, but it will start to rise very slightly. It'll rise later on, which is only sort of hill on the course, but it wasn't too bad, to be fair. Now this is the point in the course where you start to see the leading runners coming the other way, and you must see a lead bike there. And the first and the eventual winner was a guy called Harry Wells from the old club, and he was actually based in Gloucester. I think that's obviously why he does this race. And there was then a chasing pack of 5 runners here, so I've put them all on the screen who they are for your interest. And then very soon we'll see Andy Rayner, the FOD runner. There's a guy there that must have dropped out. I saw him, so there's a long walk back for sure, so I hope he's okay. And then we've got, that must be the 7th place, and then I think any minute now Andy's coming into view. Andy eventually finished 10th in 33:11, which was his second best ever time. So yeah, very impressive, and that's my next mile there gone through. So, you know, running it very steadily.
Well done, Andy. Thank you, mate. What's the official? 33:11.
I didn't get one of them. Where'd you get them from?
Just over there, mate, by the result.
Yeah.
How did you get on?
Well, it wasn't a personal worst, so it was some consolation.
That wasn't a personal worst.
Yeah, it wasn't far off.
It was a bit windy, wasn't it?
It wasn't as bad as I thought, to be fair. I mean, I was tucked in a bit, and then...
You meant to milk it. You meant to say, yes, it was really windy.
Yeah.
Really windy.
Yeah.
It was, I'll tell you what it was, mate. I'll tell you what it was. It was all right going out to a degree. It was a bit windy. We turned around, and I thought, this isn't too bad. We turned back.
That was depressing, because I thought, oh, not far behind Andy. Then I realised it's like a mile to go or something. Ridiculous.
It was crazy. And then we turned back onto this straight, and then I thought tailwind, but no, the wind hit us.
No, if anything, it seemed a bit headwind, didn't it?
Yeah,
For a bit. When you turn around, then it seemed to come a tailwind as you come into the village.
Yeah.
And then a late lap round, yeah.
It was,
I'm sure I was...
Did you beat John?
No, I think, where is he? And I saw him come the other way. So
Okay.
I knew that I was only going about 6:45 pace, something like that. So I knew if he was going to make 40, he'd have to go harder.
Do we know what he did? I haven't seen him cross the line.
No, I saw him just as I crossed the line, but I suspect he probably was just outside 40. But
Okay. Oh, you were 42. Happy days, mate.
yeah, but it was about 21 at halfway. But then I felt like I kept the pace up. But
What's your choice? I'm sure you've already
Like
talked
to,
about it. Version 1.
yeah, I mean, to be honest, made a fat lot of difference. I could have worn a Pegasus and probably be 44
Should have
minutes.
won the Pegasus Premium.
Pretty well, probably, yeah, that probably would have been a bad mistake. But yeah, I kind of, if it was a marathon, I could keep going for another 20 miles. That would be fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a long 2 years. Since
Good
then.
on you. What did you think of the course in general?
Yeah, I mean, it was apart from that little rise to the turn.
Yeah.
It was pretty much flat, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's about as flat as you're going to get on a country lane. I thought.
It's one of those hills as well that I find anyway, you can actually make it back up on the way down because it's a lovely long gentle.
Yeah,
So you
yeah.
kind of pick it back up a bit. Which is
Yeah.
good. So, yeah.
I thought early on, I looked at my watch thinking, oh, I'm not going that slowly, but then I thought I felt alright, and then I sort of, you got into that groove when you got as hard as you're going to go, whatever level you're going, don't you? And yeah, that's it. So what was your time?
33:11, so that's my second fastest.
Oh, it's very good,
10K,
yeah.
I'll take it,
And
mate.
where was your fastest?
Here 2 years ago.
Oh, okay.
33
In
flat.
better conditions.
Oh
was it?
god,
Yeah.
millions better. So,
Yeah, I guess if you get this on a summer's night or a nice still morning, yeah.
Absolutely brilliant, mate. So yeah, no, I'm happy with that. I'll bank it. We'll go on to next week, Newport Half.
Oh yeah, gosh, yeah. How were the? I watched your, I sort of listened to your video on the way up, and yeah, I did one session in them, but I ran about 10 miles, which is probably a bit far for a first session. And then after I'd done my reps, and I was just jogging back, I felt like they were getting a bit loose at the back, and it was starting to sort of rub a bit.
It was you and Dawn Broom that were the ones that
Yeah.
alerted me to it. And when I finished Alicante, I think I said in my video, I had to literally take the shoes off and walk back. But nothing today. I haven't taken my feet up either.
Yeah.
I forgot to take them up. Absolutely fine. So I don't think the longer you go
How
on.
much room have you got in yours?
I'm not
No, not much then, is there? Really? Yeah.
I've got about half of them.
And this is Rob Barnett, who I've got to know through Andy. Great PB by him, 33:59, great going. And just behind him there, we've got Ryan Baker from Rayleigh Adventures, who did 34:11. So another fine run from him, another YouTuber. And let's see who else we've got here. I think we've got very shortly, we've got the first woman and also get my 5k marker point. There's the 5k marker point. I got 21:09. First woman was Chelsea Baker, 35:09. So some impressive running for sure. So 21:09 and I finished with 42:55. So yeah, I just tied up a bit in the second half, didn't I? But didn't really feel like I lost too much, but must have done a bit. I think at this point, when the course starts to go up a bit, so I think that was the sort of the toughest bit. So now looming into view is Tim Stent, better known as MARM, who we saw on the start line in the red sort of t-shirt. He doesn't like wearing vest, but a very fine 37.31. I believe that's a PB by him. So yeah, great running. Now we've got some more YouTubers coming through. Here's Donato, who was first M16, 39.48. So great to get under 40 minutes. I beat him in the marathon in 2021, but he showed me a clean pair of heels by 3 minutes here. And then we've got two more YouTubers. John Broom had a good run, I thought. It's considerably better than me. And we've also got Andy Maguire, It's on Andy. So here's John Broom coming through, 40.48 his time, and Andy Maguire, 41.09. I think it was Andy's second best ever time, and John, one of his better runs of late for sure.
So John, you just absolutely thrashed me today. I said, where is he? And then I looked at he's coming the other way, but too all. Yeah, too all. Yeah. I knew it was good for today, but 42, 45ish, something like that. Yeah.
It's tough, isn't it? Yeah. And then you've missed a bit of training. So.
Yeah, I mean, I paced it okay, but I just there wasn't any money more there. I thought, well, it's John behind me. I think surely can't be behind me at this place. He'll be coming in at whatever. Yeah.
We get a good view at halfway.
I think it was windy, but it wasn't as bad as I thought, to be fair.
No, there's blisters.
Are you able to guess what the SSS will be then on this?
I don't think it would be that high, would it? I mean, it was still. What time did you do?
40.52.
40.52.
40.21 at
So probably about one, I'd say. So it was. I mean, Andy did 33.11, which is his second best ever. And okay, he's probably in shape to run 32.30, probably.
Yeah.
But you know, that would be the best ever, wouldn't it?
Is this the first time we've done this?
Yeah. I mean, it's a good course. I mean, if you're really up for it, I mean, just that little drag up to the turn, wouldn't it? Just.
Yeah, the drag up, then going down, then stopping to go around the cone.
Yeah.
And a little drag back.
It seemed longer coming back along that country lane than it was going out. Maybe because it may also be in the end where the turn was then.
Last time I didn't realise we had the loop round the town. I thought, hey, we're back in Bourton.
Yeah.
How'd you get on, Tim?
Essential interview. Well, you beat me, I think. It wasn't a personal worst, just 45, 45. Yeah.
Not ideal conditions today.
No, well, I've had like injuries and illnesses, so I'm making my excuses. But, that was as well as I thought I would do. Yeah. Yourself?
I did 41.09. So
okay, not quite PB, but not far off.
Yeah, it's 14 seconds off. I'm blaming the footwear. I should have gone for the Takumis.
The first version?
Yeah, the OGs.
Okay. Yeah.
I got these from Vinted actually.
Oh, really? Yeah. How much did they supposedly done?
Apparently 50k. But
Okay, yeah.
I don't know. One of the panels is.
I was a bit suspicious of people. I mean, I sell shoes because I don't like them, but if you sell an Alpha Fly, I think why are you selling an Alpha Fly?
I got them for 70 quid, but
Okay.
I've worn that every race apart from today. I've PB'd in them, so.
Yeah. Oh well, you got some use out of them anyway. Yeah.
Well done today.
Yeah, good to see you anyway.
Yeah, good to see you.
Here's the turn, basically about just under 5.6k, isn't it? The reason why it's slightly long is because you only do one lap when you get back to the village at the end. And yeah, I should be on my city strides run and be able to get round a dead cones okay. It wasn't too bad. And if we hang on the footage a bit, we'll see Dawn coming through. Now later on, Dawn said that she saw me. And yeah, I was a bit worried that actually if I really blew up, so someone like Dawn would go past me, which obviously she's a very fine runner. But yeah, you're kind of thinking that I should be able to beat Dawn, to be fair. But yeah, she did a good run. Second M60 in 44.26.
Momento.
How did you do, Dawn?
24.
I was wondering if I was any slower. You can pass me, but
Because you're so tall, I was thinking, he's not having a good one today, but
I mean, it's like, I have to say I did as bad as I thought I would do, to be fair, yeah. And I didn't die, which is a good thing. Yeah. Are you still doing the marathon? You're not? I was like, is that mad to say that? Or is that
That's a world exclusive.
Is that a world exclusive? Yeah. If you get that far in the video.
I'm going to do the next videos. No, I've decided I'm not doing the marathon, but I am doing Abingdon in October, I think the Masters.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I'll keep on training.
So which marathon were you going to do?
Brighton.
Oh, that's the bloody uphill, down, isn't it?
I just, Thomas, my heart, you know.
And the last of the YouTubers that I spotted here is Hayley Cotton, from Riley Adventures, 45:48 she did, which I think is a good time for her. I'm coming up on 6k, and this guy in the yellow and blue is still just out in front at 4:15. So I'm still holding this pace very nicely, coming back towards the village, and I'm just thinking, can I get past this guy? So here we are, I'm still in battle with the yellow and blue top, and 6:49 miles. So all 4 miles so far, all within 3 seconds. So yeah, very pleased with that. And well, from the pacing point of view, and unfortunately my camera died just after this, so we'll put some more splits on. Just had a slight slowing in the 5th and 6th miles. I think the 6th mile was a bit into a headwind, so lost a bit on there, and I made a bit back on the last quarter of a mile. And then my K splits there, you can see like the 10th K 4:14. So yeah, 42:55 chip time. That is not my personal worst. I have actually run slower, not by much. Just the one time in Portugal in 2018 when I was also coming back from an Achilles injury. So at this point my camera died, so that's now panned to some post-race interviews with all the YouTubers.
A little cover for the cover for your thing.
You do get paid to run. No.
Paid to run. I'm the one.
I didn't have
I'm
any
the one
super
who's
shoes
funding
on
your
too.
prize money. Yeah.
I didn't have any super shoes on. You know, just a nice race. How did you get on today, Tim?
Well, I'm not as well as you. I didn't do a personal worst. So that was some
Personal
consolation.
worst?
I didn't quite do a personal worst. 42:45.
I was lining up the excuses because the forecasting on Monday said strong winds and heavy rain.
Yeah, I was debating whether I was really worth coming, but yeah, it wasn't quite as bad as I thought to.
Well,
but,
where's
yeah, it's windy, but it's not too bad, is it?
I think strong wind might be better, but the forecast these days to make it a bit pessimistic of it.
Yeah.
No, well done coming out.
Well done, yeah. I mean, I'm glad to come out. I haven't really done a 10k for a year, so I need to get back into some decent training. Yeah, so I've been a bit sort of ill, and then I've been injured, so making my excuses. I'm just getting old, I think. Yeah. I'm not as old as you, though. I'll see, I'm the old as you two are here. I'm not. You're
I'll be
older.
64 in May, so I'm not that old.
64, I'm 58, so yeah. We won't quite meet them, because I'm 60, you'll be the next age group. Yeah.
Exactly.
So what's next on the cards for you?
Next one for me is, would you believe, down here, Fleet.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's just another training run.
You doing any marathons this time?
I'll be. I haven't said anything, but I won't be doing London. Yeah, I won't be doing London.
Everyone's pulling out of marathons. The Brooms are both pulled out.
Yeah, I'm not doing London. I will be doing a marathon. It will be in April, but I've said you.
Oh, okay.
So, I'm pulling out of London because it's the end of April and it's not good planning for
Okay.
us masters. So,
Yeah. Yeah. So, sort of. I quite like the training for marathons, but
it's hard work.
yeah, I think that,
And you've got to commit, the full time.
when I did that sub 3, it was all in, but it's still 26 minutes slower than my PB. So like all that effort to run, like,
Well, you see, you used to be a top athlete, didn't you?
well, I mean, yeah. I
You
mean,
didn't start till the age you are now. Like,
I was never a top athlete, but when you're younger, you run faster.
yeah,
Whereas someone-
science.
You probably would have been up with Andy today or something like that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Beat Mother Nature. Anyway, good to meet you.
And you,
finally.
yeah.
Bye bye, everyone.
Yeah.
I've just got to put a little cross, is that okay?
Yeah, thank
There
you.
we go. Well
Thanks very
done.
much, thank
There
you.
we go.
What's in here then?
There's a water bottle.
Water bottle. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, a bit different from the t-shirt, isn't it? Yeah. Well, today I was at my pace 2 years ago in the marathon, so I think, I need to find some fitness somewhere if I go to do a marathon again.
Stop getting injured.
Oh yeah, that was my I did 30-second rep on Thursday. It was the fastest I've run since May. I wasn't apart from lack of fitness and being very average. It was I wasn't quite a personal worst, but nearly there. Yourself?
I'm just good with being meeting.
33.
Finally got under 34.
Oh, well done.
But
It was a good course. It wasn't as windy as I thought it would be, to be fair.
I
but-
thought it was bloody horrible.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't like the 50 miles an hour that they were kind of suggesting, wasn't it? Might
Cheers,
be
mate.
now.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Where did you come?
17.
Yeah, I saw you going the other way. Then you're just behind Andy, weren't you?
Did you? Oh, he spoke to me in the end.
Yeah.
He went off pretty
Yeah.
I think he did 33. 10.
Did he? Oh, okay. Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
What about the running Brooms? Did you beat John?
No, he was. I thought, where is he? Then I turned around, and then he was going the other way. So he had a good minute on me at the turn, I think. Don't think he broke 40, but he might have been close.
You happy enough about that?
Yeah, I was trying to maintain an even pace. I just have lost so much training with this man flu, and I think at 5k I might get away with it, but 10k.
10k's tough.
Kind of, yeah.
I'd rather do a marathon than 10k.
I did a stride yesterday. It's my fastest 400 all year, and it was only like just under 6 pace. So I thought, oh, right, it's on the water, isn't it? Yeah. At least my 10k pace is not faster. But yeah. Oh, good to see you.
Yeah.
Andy's like taller than he looks. Do I look that tall?
You are tall.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm 6'1".
Are you?
Towering.
Yeah, if you stand there. So what shoes we got on?
Emily's got 316.
Oh, okay. Are they your favourites?
And the matching sock. These and the Alpha Flies are my favourites.
Oh, okay. But they have a 10k shoe then, are they?
Yeah, I would wear these for a marathon.
Yeah.
I need more help at the back end.
Yeah. I can't believe that was my sub 3 pace 2 years ago, like almost the day. So yeah, time's getting up with me. I think.
Next challenge.
I think I need to get.
Valencia in December.
I need to get a few invites to a few races, don't I? And have 2 weeks off, and then go to a shoe launch. Don't wear the shoe always. Yeah.
Never run it, but tell people what it's like.
Yeah.
Oh dear.